needed to enroll. I'm also going to show you a list of where our preschool and infant toddler sites are located. And then I'm going to also, with some help from our state preschool staff, show you how to actually go online and do online enrollment. So that's the goal for our meeting today. So as I share my screen, the first document I will share with you is a list of where our preschools are located. So one of the things you'll want to consider is where you currently live and which program is going to be most convenient for you. And so we have a number of different programs that I will provide a description of. The very first type of program that you could possibly enroll your child in is our state-funded full-day program. And that program runs with hours from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. This is for our families that can verify that they are either working or going to school. Those programs are located at Babcock, Kohler, Madison, Las Palmas, also formerly known as Noralto, Northwood, Smythe Elementary, Stroud Elementary, Violent, and also Woodlake. We also have a state full-day program that is for our infant and toddlers that are 0 to 3 years old, located at Pacific. The second type of program that our district offers is our state part day programs. And those programs, parents do not need to certify that they are working or going to school. And your hours could be in the AM from 8 to 11, or they could be in the AM from 8:30 to 11:30, depending on the site. And then there's a PM program at these sites that are from either 12 to 3 p.m. or 12:30 to 3:30. And the state part day programs are located at Castori, Del Paso, Fairbanks, Garden Valley, Hagenwood, Joyce, Kohler, Las Palmas, also formerly known as Noralto, Northwood, Orchard, Sierra View, Smythe, Stroud, Woodlake, and Woodridge. So again, those are part day programs that are typically about 3 hours. And there's a morning session as well as a PM session. And the third program that is offered within our district is our Early Head Start and our Head Start programs. And those hours are 8 to 2:30, Monday through Thursday, and 1 Friday out of the month. And then our Early Head Start program serves 2 and 3-year-olds from 8 to 2:30, Monday through Friday. And those locations are Maury Avenue, Oakdale, Rio Linda, and then also Village. So again, as you're thinking about enrolling your child, please do look at this list. It is available online to kind of figure out which one is going to be most convenient to your home. The next document I'm going to share with you is a list of what is needed for enrollment. And so as you start to gather your documents, there will be enrollment forms that are needed that ask for information about health, of your child, but then there's also some additional documents that need to go along with your enrollment packet. So we do need birth verification, and that could be in the form of a certified or hospital birth certificate. It can be the Medi-Cal card, or it can be a passport. We also need, because our programs are federally or state funded, we also need to verify income. And so income will be verified to determine which program you are eligible for. And your income can be verified through check stubs, the most recent 30 days, a CalWorks printout, SSI printout, or your tax forms, a W-2 or a 1040 tax return. We also would like our kids to make sure that they are current on their dental hygiene. And so a dental exam form is needed. And if your child has gone to the dentist within the last year, they don't need to go to the dentist again. The dentist will simply fill out the form based on your last visit. So that form is valid for an entire year. We also ask for our children to go through a physical exam. And so again, it is valid for a year. And so if you have not taken your child to the doctor within the last year, we are going to ask you to make an appointment with your physician to have your child complete an exam form. The exam forms for our Early Head Start and our Head Start program also ask for a hemoglobin and a lead test as well. One of the most important things also is their immunization record. And so kids are required to be immunized. And so it will require those shots that are listed there, including the DTP, polio, as well as hepatitis B. We also ask for a copy of the medical insurance card. So if you have Medi-Cal or Kaiser or Blue Shield, we'll ask to see that so that we can make a copy. And then if you happen to get WIC services, we also will ask for the WIC information. So along with the forms that I will show you again online, those are also some additional documents that are needed to complete your enrollment. The other form that I will show you, which typically gets a lot of questions, and so because each family is different, we ask you really to call us if you have specific questions that are related specifically to either your household or your family size, is related to income. So as I mentioned, all of our programs are income based. And so you'll see on the left-hand side, there's a chart for the Early Head Start and Head Start program. And so income is verified for all programs. And what we are asking is for you to determine your family size. So how many people within your household that you financially support. And then you'll see the second column shows you the monthly income and then also the annual income. The table on the right-hand side is for our state preschool programs. Again, everything is based on family size. You'll determine your family size. It shows you the monthly income and then also the annual income that's permitted to qualify for the state preschool programs. Depending on your income, there may be a small fee associated with attending the program. So when you turn in your application and go through the appointment with our enrollment team, they will talk to you about if there are going to be any fees and then the process to get fees paid on a monthly basis if your family does happen to have a fee. So again, all of this information is located on our website. And so the last piece of this presentation before we take questions is that I will show you where to find this information. So hopefully you have seen, let me also remind you that if you have any questions, I will also show you through this document how to email us. And then also if someone could put the number for our preschool department in the chat box, that would be great. So you can always call us, you can always email us if you have any questions after this meeting, especially if there are questions that are specific to your family. Every family has a different family size and a different income and a different situation. So we would like to talk to you individually for those questions. So this is our Twin Rivers website. This is where you will go to actually do the enrollment for your child. And so this is our homepage. So when you type in www.twinrivers.org, you are going to land here. And where you will find our online enrollment application is under the academics tab. And we are under the early childhood education tab, so ECE. If you click there, and you scroll, you are going to see a button that says preschool enrollment, and you're going to click here. So again, this is where you'll go to actually fill out the enrollment packet. You'll see in blue, enroll pre-K at Twin Rivers. If you want to email us to ask us a question, that is going to be the email that you use, and we'll make sure that someone gets back to you in a timely manner. Again, it gives a description of the programs we offer. And then you are going to, excuse me. Sorry guys, I'm moving things around on my computer. You're going to scroll down and it's going to give you two options for how you want to enroll. Sandra, are you on? Are you on? I didn't see or not.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, you want to take it over from here, or you want to help me as I go through it?
I can help you.
Go for it. Thank you.
Okay, so we basically have the two options, which are to use either Adobe Reader program or through Google Drive or Doc Hub. So it depends on the device that you're using. If you're using the computer, you are able to use the Adobe Reader version. If you're using a Chromebook or a cell phone with a Google account, you can use the second option. And then can you click on the first one? There. So this will take you to a video that goes over the step-by-steps of how to open the application, download it to your device, and save it before you're able to make any changes to it. So you first have to download it and save it. That way you're able to complete it. So this video walks you through, and then there's links right under the video that tells you the step-by-step guide with pictures if you're not comfortable with the video. And then if you scroll down a little bit more, you're going to see the link to open the preschool enrollment application. And then the bottom one is in Spanish. Once you click the application, this is what you will see. It's going to give you the list of the documents that we require to verify that your family qualifies for the program. And then you can scroll down and it gives you more information on the different programs that we offer. And then it takes you straight into the application. Now, again, right now, Tabitha just opened it and you're not able to modify or type in it or sign anything until you download the document and save it to your device. And there you see the list that Tabitha was just showing a few minutes ago that it breaks down the school sites, the times, and the different programs that we have, so that when you get to the first page of our enrollment packet, which is, well, the next one, right there in the middle, you get to write down what school site you are choosing to enroll into. You get to choose part day, full day, or Head Start, and you have school choice number 1, and you can put a second choice if that first school is not available. So then you complete the whole application. If you listen to the whole video, it's going to show you how to create your digital signature, and you will see signature little red arrows where you're supposed to sign the document. And then it gives you information about the immunizations that your child will have. Well, I'm sorry, that must have in order to enroll into the program.
Sandra,
Yes.
regarding can you go over the immunizations? A question that some families have is how do they find maybe some available clinics or assistance programs with having maybe their shots? What do you recommend as a enrollment specialist?
I'm not sure the updated clinics due to the pandemic, but we do advise parents to, if they do not have coverage or medical or a specific doctor to sign to the family, to look for the ELICA centers. They are usually like portable clinics that are all mobile clinics that are stationed in different areas of the whole city. So they do have specific dates that go to specific areas, and they will give you immunizations or physical checks without appointments.
You can,
So,
oh, I'm sorry.
no, it's okay.
You can also always call us at the preschool department, and we have a health team that is specific to ECE and our preschool programs. And so our health team can also direct you to the latest information regarding health clinics.
Yes, and we usually, when we get those phone calls, we do refer them to our health assistant or nurse to get more clarification, because sometimes the parents might not even need a physical or immunization. If they submit whatever they have, we can double check that they're up to date and they might not need more immunizations.
So we could continue, Sandra.
Okay. Then we do have the TB risk assessment. Again, it's just a questionnaire that you can complete. And if we do need a TB test administered, the clerk or the staff will let you know once we review the application. More likely you're not, because it also depends on the physician. Once you submit the physical form, they also mark it down there if the child needs a TB test or not. So this is just a general questionnaire that we get information from your family. And then this is the 30-day agreement for medical assessment. We actually added this to our application to allow an extension for the parents to submit the child's physical. So if you don't have it ready at the time of enrollment, we can still process your application. And this is an agreement that allows you extra days to submit the physician's report to us. And here we have the home language survey. We basically just ask, what is your child's first language, the language spoken at home, the more frequent language spoken with adults at home, and then we just ask you to sign it. This is a family partnership profile. We want information on your household, but then we also have staff that is able to give you some information if you need any of this different programs, or if you need for emergency services or information. So you mark here whatever you're interested in, and we will have our staff follow up with you. This questionnaire, you probably have seen it in other applications. It's the Child Welfare and Attendance Office questionnaire that we also included in our application because it is required for the enrollment. The declaration of residency, we do request parents to submit proof of residency. So this is just a statement. If you have proof of residency, you complete the top portion. If you're doubled up or are using somebody else's proof of residency, then they would have to sign the middle part, which is a third party affidavit that they're sharing the residency with you. If you are providing us with a SMUD bill or PG&E or letter under somebody else's name. So this is the form that they will have to sign, allowing you to use that residency. And then this is the child history questionnaire. It asks general health information and daily routines and potty training questions and health, some personality questions too. So this one we use more to get an idea on where the teacher should focus on. And then this is the adult code of conduct, basically it's an agreement between parents and our program on how we will be kind, safe, and clean and behave in our programs. These are the parents' rights and child's rights in our program. And this is a recent form we added for the family handbook agreement. We're acknowledging that at the time of confirmation, we are giving you a copy of the handbook with our rules and policies and processes and everything. The opt-out photo form, this one you only complete it if you do not want your child to be photographed while in the program. And then starting here, you will see a red box at the right top corner. This basically means you do not need to complete it unless you are applying for the full day program. So for the full day program, it's a little bit more information that we request because we have to prove to the state that the family has a need for the child to be in this program for the full day. So we ask for employment verification or training verification or incapacity forms. So basically you will use either of these forms to verify that both adults or whoever is the adult in the household is not able to care for the child. So we will need to contact either employers or your training educational setting or your doctor regarding the family's need to be in the full day program.
Sandra, a question that many families ask is, what is the difference between, in this case, preschool and Head Start? I know that maybe it's something that sometimes families ask, like, what are the differences between them?
Tabitha, would you like to take over?
Sure. From a parent standpoint, there's not a huge difference. For us, it's a matter of funding. So our Head Start and early Head Starts are funded by the federal government, whereas our state programs are funded through the state of California. So when you enter a classroom, you won't be able to necessarily tell if it's a state funded program or a Head Start program. We all provide quality care for all of our kids. So it's just a matter of who's funding what.
Thank you. Yeah. Also, there is a form, this one that I wanted to go over. It's the self-certification of income. So most parents that are daily laborers that do not have pay stubs or proof of income, we sometimes families get discouraged and do not want to enroll because they do not have that proof. So this is a really important form that we are able to give the parents to provide us with any information that they have regarding the nature and income that the family receives. So if there is no proof, this is a form that is very helpful because they're able to state under penalty of perjury what they do, what they earned in the last 30 days, and how often, the description of their work, and why they don't have documentation. So this is a form that can be helpful for those parents that get paid in cash and don't necessarily have pay stubs to prove their income. And then this is another form that we added to the full day preschool packet, just to allow families that are seeking employment or seeking to increase employment to extend their hours if needed. So this is on only specific cases. Not everybody qualifies for this form, but we also include it in the packet so you get an idea of why we're requesting it. And this is the incapacity form. If a family is unable to provide childcare for the children in the household, then we ask the doctor to complete this form so that we can allow the child to be more hours in the center.
Hello, Sandra. One of the questions that came up is as far as how often do families have to recertify, and does unemployment income take in part to qualify for some of these fees?
If their income we all base it on the income that they submit at the time of enrollment. So we basically take their pay stubs and put them in the state's website, and it generates a fee of how much the family can afford. Most of the time we get zero fees. For the full days is where we do have to focus on the fees, but for the part days, as long as your family qualifies under that ceiling that Tabitha was sharing, the family qualifies for free childcare. So it's only for the full day programs that we will have to assess a fee.
And there's some questions that came up. What we'll do, we went over the application, have gone over as well. Let me just zoom this really quickly. Um, we have gone over some of the criteria, program sites that are available, and I see some families that have some questions. But what we like to do, sorry, is also go over what ages qualify for what programs. These were many questions that came up within the registration and in some of the chat as well. And then before I forget, some families have asked as well as far as kinder camp, and we can show what kinder camp is as well. So Sandra, can you go? Does everyone see this document?
Yes.
Okay.
So pretty much if the child was born before September 1st of 2016, for this upcoming school year, the child will qualify for kindergarten. If a child is born between September 2nd and December 2nd of 2016, the child will qualify for transitional kinder. Then after that, if the child was born December 3rd of 2016 up until September 1st of 2018, the child will qualify for our preschool program. And if the child was born September 2nd of 2018 or later, that child is too young for preschool and they might qualify for the infant and toddler program depending on availability. So this chart has a lot of information, but basically if the child is born by December 3rd of 2016 up until September 1st of 2018, all those blue colored dates in the calendar, then your child will qualify for preschool.
Can someone from our preschool staff send the dates once again via the chat?
Sure.
This will help as far as sending out the information. And we shared this application, or sorry, some of the forms as well via the chat. They were dropped as documents. And for those who have attended today, we will also make sure to share those as well. Dr. Thompson, are there any any comments you want to share before your meeting?
There are not. I just again want to encourage any parents that have questions to please reach out to us, whether it's the email address of the enroll pre-K at twinrivers.org or the calls. We will make sure that we get back to you with any any answers that you might have about enrollment. Again, our school year does start August 17th, so we are currently enrolling right now. We anticipate that we will be full for next year, so the sooner you can get online and start to do the process to enroll your child, including gathering those documents that were mentioned, the better. Because again, we anticipate that we will be full this year. So please make sure you start the enrollment process as soon as possible. And again, I appreciate you guys joining us for the virtual fair.
Thank you, Dr. Thompson. Now, there's a question that came up here. Let me let's pause a moment and see if there's any families that have any questions. And then we'll go over and talk about Camp and maybe some questions at the end as well. One of the questions that came up is regarding as far as which in this case, like for next year, what does next year look like? As far as whether it be virtual, will be hybrid, whether it be in person. In this case, can somebody discuss about what preschool and Head Start programs will look like for the 21-22 school year? Which is a really good
So
question.
that's a great question. And unfortunately, we do not have a concrete answer for you in this moment. One of the things that is happening as we speak, we are planning for next year. However, we are not sure what it will look like. And so as soon as our district makes a decision about what next year will look like, our preschool programs will likely follow what the older students are doing. So we are having to follow, obviously, the recommendations from CDC and our local public health officials. And so we will make sure that we get information to you as soon as we know what is happening.
Thank you. One of the questions, Sandra, and the preschool staff is they ask about how some school sites have some program sites, let's say, but then some other like other school sites or elementary school sites don't offer a program, either preschool or Head Start programs. Can you, Sandra, can you talk about the differences why that is?
We basically assign the schools on by demand and availability. So we do not have a restricted area per se. If your child is in the Northwood attendance area and you choose Hagenwood, we still allow it because we don't have transportation. So we don't limit to specific school sites, but then again, we do not have preschool classrooms at all of the sites.
And then Sandra, for enrollment, I know that like typically for TK and for kindergarten, usually is based off of on their home address, right? For preschool, it's a little different, right?
Yes, we don't have the home residence or residency boundaries because we don't provide transportation.
Okay. Um, let me
So
see. So
you
go ahead,
basically can
Sandra.
apply to any preschool site as long as there's spots available.
Okay. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to screen share this right here. So when you go, as Dr. Thompson had showed, and Sandra navigated the website, this is how you would primarily interact, let's say in this case with Twin Rivers, when it comes to enrollment. This, one of the first things that hopefully you should be able to see is welcoming to enroll now for the 21-22 school year. As Dr. Thompson mentioned, please start the process to enroll as soon as possible. And here would tell you as far as for preschool as well. So if you're trying to figure out how to access the page, this is where you could go for preschool enrollment. And you click on it and it will tell you as far as the different steps when it comes to enrollment. If you have questions, you could email at enroll. Let me do that real quickly. Enroll PK at Twin Rivers USD. Sandra, who responds? Who responds to the emails that are sent? Is that you? Is that everybody?
It's everybody has access to that email. All of our clerks and our secretaries have access to that email. So everybody is monitoring it throughout the day. We have specific clerks assigned to specific sites. So once we get an email, it's really important that you put in the subject field of your email, the school site that you're interested in, so that we know who to forward it to.
Thank you. And then, so somebody asked, we already went over the preschool enrollment documents, and somebody had asked, before I forget, about Camp. So either Sandra or Nicole, can you go into just talking about what Kinder Camp is? Uh, what do you, why is it important to sign up? Um, and maybe what should families know as far as what Kinder Camp will look like this summer?
So our Kinder Camp program in is mainly for kiddos that have not had any preschool experience. And so the focus of Kinder Camp is really to give those kids an experience in a kindergarten classroom to get them ready for kindergarten the next year. So we have circle time, we talk about how the classroom works, we talk about expectations, we go outside so that they understand what kindergarten kind of looks like, because we're not there for the full day. It's just a morning program, but it does give them the experience of what school is going to be like when they go to school. I'm sorry, Roberto, I forgot the second part of your question.
The question, I know, and enrollment, is there spots available? I guess as far, I know that here is the application. What are things that families should be aware of when it comes to applying for Kinder Camp? Uh,
So we are continuing to take enrollment. So please apply if this is something that is interesting for you. We're starting to create some of those class lists so that we can reach out to families and let them know the plan. Just letting us know what you're interested in on the application. We are going to have 4 in-person sites and 1 distance learning site. So whichever program that you're interested in, just let us know on the application.
and do we know what program sites are going to be in person
Yes.
and which ones are going to be in distance learning?
So we're just going to have 1 distance learning class, and then our 4 Kinder Camp sites are going to be Regency Park, Castory, Madison, and Stroud.
Okay, I just typed it in as well. Thank you, Ms. Nicole.
Welcome.
I see there's questions regarding for Sandra or Nicole, questions about when it comes to preschool programs for students that are in with special needs. Which I mean, let me stop screen sharing and then we probably could. In that case, like, what are the program services that are offered for students who are in preschool who have special needs?
Nicole, would you like me to take over or do you want to go over this?
And I'm actually still here. I'm just on a mobile device now. So we obviously welcome and support all of our students that have any kind of a diagnosis, and whether or not they have an IEP or not. And so if your child has an IEP for something specific, then we always ask you to make sure that you connect with our special ed department so that they can help us get that student to the right placement. If you just have concerns about your child and want to talk to our special ed department about a process to formally assess, they are also available to answer any of those questions. And then all of our programs do again support students that have IEPs. We just want to make sure in collaboration with our special ed department that we get them to the right locations. Some of our locations do have inclusion, which means that if your child has an IEP, they could be placed and they are socially and academically ready for placement within a general ed classroom. They could be placed in that classroom again, but it is a recommendation from our special ed department. So we are always in constant communication with our special ed department, who knows which programs are best for our kiddos that have some special needs. And so the number, if someone wants to put it in the chat for our special ed department, if you have any specific questions, is 916-566-1617. So again, if you have any questions related to possibly having your child get assessed or joining one of our preschool locations that has those extra supports, please make sure you connect with our special ed department.
Thank you, Dr. Thompson. At this point, let me see, and I do want to, before I forget, we are also going to be offering a workshop about inclusion that will be in the latter part of May. And let me share with you via chat.
I gotta get to, but
Okay, so I sent the information about, in this case, about inclusion. Let me see, are there any other questions that would like, our families would like to ask? I'm looking at my time, it's around 3:44. We hopefully have responded to some of them via the chat. So if you would like to ask any questions, please, unmute yourself and we'll be able to answer some of those questions. We have both, in addition, we have our Spanish and our diary interpreter as well. And so let me see. So we went over age requirements. So and then we went over the cost and tuition, the enrollment process, and as far as what programs are available, and in addition to Kinder Camp, I see that in some cases we see a question that arose as far as summer school enrollment. And what I recommend for summer school, since it was one of the things that was going on, is to contact our special projects department. I shared the link down below as far as where you can access that. Let me see. At this point, I'm looking at the questions that were signed up. We talked about program sites and everything else, and data bursts. And is there any last closing thoughts, Sandra, Dr. Thompson, Nicole, that we want to share with our families as we start the process for enrollment for 21-22, and things they should just be aware of as we finalize and conclude this meeting?
I would think, I think I would like to mention, as of right now, due to the pandemic, we're only taking virtual appointments. So all the enrollments we're processing online. So please be patient with us. We do receive applications and then we reach out to schedule a phone appointment to go over any documents that are missing. That way we guarantee that phone appointment slot for us to process and work on your application. So it is a little bit different from the enrollments we were used to previous years, where we would schedule an appointment, have the parents come in during the summer, do all the paperwork and give you the confirmation right then and there. Now we're doing emails, we're calling you, we're asking for additional documents, putting the file together, and then processing it that way. So it is taking a little bit longer because we're doing virtual enrollments. But if you have any questions, just give us a call. We do have our clerks and our secretaries answering the phones and emails and giving information as much as possible. We are sending additional documents besides the enrollment application. So please make sure that if you do submit the application, give us time to review it and reach out to you for additional documents, because it is a different process that we're going through. So just be patient and make sure you contact us with any questions so that we can help you and try to get you in as quickly as possible.
And I would
Sure.
just echo that in closing, that just go ahead, even if you're not sure yet about whether or not you have all your documents, go ahead and start the process ASAP, so that we can guide you through anything that you might have questions about.
Sandra and Nicole, there's two questions that I want to finish up. One is as far as, is there any requirements such as income when it comes to Kinder Camp?
So for Kinder Camp, they do need to be enrolled in the kindergarten in Twin Rivers, but there are no additional requirements. but they do need to be enrolled in kindergarten in Twin Rivers. But there's no fees or anything.
And then Sandra, Karen asked regarding ages. Somebody mentioned that whether, can they still sign up for their child even though they're not 3 years of age? If so, what programs would they qualify?
So the toddler program that we currently have is limited capacity. So we do have a wait list. More likely by the time that we go back to school, the child will already be 3. So again, just reach out if you have those specific questions, if you're not sure if they will qualify for the school year starting in August. We might be able to put you in or do the enrollment right now to start in August. And I mean, right now, the child might not be 3, but by the time that school starts, the child will be 3. So it all depends on availability. If we are able to get your child in before the 3rd birthday, we will, but we do have a wait list. So if you do have a child that is younger, give us a call so that we can add you to the wait list as soon as possible.
I can't talk and send messages via the chat at the same time. I do want to say that for kindergarten, if your child turns 5 years of age on September 1st or before of this year, then in this case, they will qualify for kindergarten. If your child will be turning 5 years of age on September 2nd to December 2nd, in this case, they could qualify for transition in kindergarten as well. We want to just say thank you very much for everybody for being here today. I'm going to send one. Let me see if there's any last questions that would like to be asked. If not, I think we'll probably be finishing up this meeting, and we will be sharing many of the documents that we shared with you via email for those who have logged in. Okay. Well, thank you very much for your participation, for logging in, for asking many wonderful questions. We wanted to stress, as Dr. Thompson mentioned, the stress the importance of registering and starting that now. And then we thank you all for your time. And so I'm going to stop the meeting, and I wish you all a good day.
Thank you.